All right, so question number 2, the first thing it says is factorize 3n squared plus 15np. So first thing we realize is that both terms have n in common and 3 in common, so we can factor out the highest common factor, 3n, so we have 3n in bracket. We'll divide 3n squared by 3n, we're left back with n, plus we'll divide 15np by 3n, we're left back with 5p. So this is 3n in bracket n plus 5p. That is your answer. All right, so remember we take out the highest common factor and then you divide both terms by that highest common factor inside of the bracket. That's your 2 marks. All right, now the next part of the question says the diagram below shows a quadrilateral with the lengths of its sides written in terms of x. Write an expression in terms of x for the perimeter of the quadrilateral and express your answer in its simplest form. The perimeter is adding up all the sides. So we're going to add up all the sides, all 4 sides. This side, the 15 minus 2x, plus this side, the 3x minus 7, plus this side, which is 2x plus 5, plus this side, which is 2x minus 1. So add up all of them now. Let me put a bracket around each so it doesn't look too, I don't want it to look too bad. So I just put in a bracket around each term that we're adding. So therefore, when you add all of them, the perimeter will work out to be, always remember we add like terms. So minus 2x plus 3x is x, x plus 2x is 3x, 3x plus 2x is 5x. This would work out to be 5x. And then right here now, 15 plus negative 7 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 minus 1, that is 12. That's 5x plus 12. All right, that's our answer. All right. Now the next part says, find the length of the longest side of the quadrilateral if the perimeter is 32. That's what they're literally telling you. All right, so the only way we can know the length of the longest side is first we need to know all the 4 sides. We need to know the 4 sides and then we can determine which side is longest. So first thing we need to do is find the x. So if the perimeter is 5x plus 12, then what we're saying then is 5x plus 12 is equal to 32. So that would mean that 5x is equal to 20. And if 5x is equal to 20, we can divide both sides by 5 to get that x has to be equal to 20 over 5 is 4. That's x. Now, once we get x to be 4, what are we trying to do? Determine the longest side. If x is 4, then this side would be 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. So this side is really 5. If x is 4, then this side is really 2 times 4 is 8, plus 5 is 13. If x is 4, then this side is 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. This side is really 7. And if x is 4, then this side is 15 minus 8, which is also 7. All right, notice if you add up all 3 sides, you get 13. So 13 and 7 is 20. 20 and 7 is 27. 25, 27 and 5 is 32. But they ask for the longest side. The longest side, you're not going to say is 2x plus 5. You know, you're going to say the longest side is 13 centimeter. All right, so we're going to tell them the longest side is 13 centimeter. That's what you're going to tell them. That's the longest side. The longest side is 13 centimeter. All right? That's how we do that part there. All right, now part C gives us an inequality and it says determine all the integer values of x which satisfy this inequality. So to determine all the integer values that will satisfy this inequality, I just want you to think about it, think about what is happening, right? You see an inequality with a fraction on the middle. We don't like to deal with fractions, right? Now, just so it can make sense, look at this. I'm going to use actual numbers. Imagine if I were to tell you that 2 over 3 is between 5 and -1. I'm not lying, right? Look at this. If you were to multiply through by the denominator, that would give you that 15 is greater than 2, but less than -3. That equation is, that inequality is still true, don't it? 2 is between -3 and 15. What I did was multiply the entire inequality by the denominator of the fraction in the middle. So that's what we're going to do here. Multiply the entire inequality by 3. So step 1, we're going to multiply the entire inequality by 3 to get -3 is less than 2 minus 4x. All right, so I accidentally pressed the delete button. So -3 is less than 2 minus 4x, and that is less than 3 times 5 is 15. Now we need the x part to be by itself, right? We need the x to be by itself. How are we going to get the x to be by itself? Now, in order to get the x to be by itself, what we can do is subtract 2 from both sides. Subtracting 2 from both sides will give us negative. All right, my apologies here. As you can see, the computer screen has frozen, so I'm going to make some, I'm going to have to fix this, but for now, we're going to go to the white screen. My computer froze, the program froze, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the white screen. So my apologies. We're going to rewrite out that inequality on the white screen. So the inequality was that -1 is less than 2 minus 4x over 3, and that is less than 5. So step 1, we're going to multiply through by the denominator, the denominator of the fraction. By doing that, the inequality will become -3 is less than 2 minus 4x, which is less than 3 times 5. 3 times 5 becomes 15. All I did was multiply every single term by 3. That's what I did. I multiplied the -1 times 3, I multiplied the fraction times 3, and I multiplied the 5 times 3. Once I get this, I need x in the middle. So I subtract 2 from both sides to get -5 is less than -4x, which is less than. Subtracting 2 from this side, I get 13. So in this case now, what we're gonna get is we need to have x to be the subject. So we're gonna divide by -4. But here's something that you must know about inequalities. Whenever you divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. You flip the sign. So the sign is going to become x is now bigger than 13 over -4, but x is less than now. -5 over -4 is just 5 over 4. All right? We flip. Now you're wondering, why did I flip the inequality sign? So just to put it as a side note, let me write side note right here. Side note. Look at this for me. I can tell you that 3 is less than 5, right? We all know 3 is less than 5. But if you divide by -1, right? Isn't -5 less than -3? So when you divide by the negative number, you'd have to flip the sign in order to make the statement true. Because -3 is a bigger number than -5, even though 3 is less than 5. All right, so we have to remember that when you divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. So right here, we have to flip the sign. All right, so in this case, we're saying 5/4 is bigger than x, and x is bigger than 13/4. Just to write it as mixed numbers, this is really 1¼ is bigger than x, and that is bigger than -3¼ So the possible values x can be is x is somewhere in the middle. So if you were to put the number line on, right, this is -3/4, and you have 1/4, 1¼ x is somewhere in the middle here. X can be these values. If x can be these values, then those possible values can be a number like -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1. Those are all the possible x values. So x can equal -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1. Those are all the possible answers.
Wow!
Right? Nice. So we can write that down. All right, so the screen is still froze. So just take it down from the white screen. All right, as we're going to move on to another device to finish the rest of the questions.